Hello folks, my name is Chris at HouseIt. I'm one of the co-founders here at HouseIt based in Miami, Florida. Today we're going to talk about an interesting topic that a lot of folks ask us about. And it's what is a buyer agent commission rebate, and is it allowed in Florida and Miami? Is it common here? We're going to talk about all of this and more. So yes, commission rebates are legal in 40 states, including New York and Florida, both states where we operate. And in fact, according to a IRS ruling, it's viewed as a reduction of your cost basis should you close with a commission rebate. So essentially, your buyer's broker who provides you with the rebate won't be issuing you a 1099, thus it's not classified as income. When it comes time to sell, make sure you keep the documentation as it is viewed as a reduction in your cost basis. So what exactly is a commission rebate at all? Well, first of all, as you may know, it doesn't cost you anything as a buyer to work with a buyer's agent. So in the United States, in all states, it's common for both the buyer to have their own agent, their own separate representation, and for the seller to have their own agent as well, separate representation. And what typically happens is the seller negotiates with the seller's agent on a commission for the listing. So typically it's 6%, might be more or less, but that's the figure you hear most about in the media. And this 6% commission is typically negotiated as a flat rate that's paid regardless of how the property sells, because the agreements are typically an exclusive right to sell listing agreement. So basically, when the property sells, the seller in a traditional arrangement will pay 6%, for example. And if the agent has to split the commission with a buyer's agent because the buyer has a separate agent, then per the local broker association or MLS rules around co-broking, which is another concept we'll cover in another video, that commission is split automatically per the association or MLS rules, typically at least 50-50 in favor of the buyer's agent. So then in this case, that 6% would be split 3% to the buyer's agent and the seller's agent keeps 3%. Of course, if the buyer for some reason forgoes their right to free representation, they kind of just waive that, then the seller's agent gets a rare payday and collects both sides of the commission, so all 6%. Now keep in mind that's actually pretty rare because in most markets, anywhere from 75% to 90% of buyers do end up being represented. And of course, the reasoning is quite simple besides the use it or lose it mentality that we just talked about. It's the fact that there's, for example, 50,000 agents licensed in the New York City metro area. Every New Yorker or even every Miamian has at least 5 real estate agent friends, and they'll often mention that, hey, if you're looking to buy a place, I can help you. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a seller closing cost, which it is, and it's free. So what person turns down a free service that's use it or lose it when it's the most important transaction of their lives? So anyway, that's why most buyers end up getting representation. But the buyer agent rebate, just to bring it back on track a bit, it's great because it can be better than free. So instead of your buyer's agent simply, collecting half of the listing commission, the 6%. So instead of just getting 3%, calling it a day, you got free service, and your agent friend got 3% for representing you on the buy side. Well, it can be better than free. I mean, what HouseIt offers is we through our HouseIt Buyer Closing Credit Program, one of our agents or partner agents will give you 2/3 of that commission they earn as your buyer's agent, subject to us, of course, keeping a minimum. As of this filming, it's 1% or $7,500, whichever is greater. And you keep the rest. So it can be given to you as a check post-closing after our check clears. Some clients prefer to have it credited against their closing costs, so that can happen prior to closing. We simply speak to the closing attorney or your attorney, and they adjust the flow of funds to credit what commission rebate you would get to you against your closing costs. And that's pretty much it. We have a very standard commission rebate agreement that we can use. It's about half a page. It's quite simple, and it's for your protection to to outline the terms that we just discussed, that will what and how much will pay you, and also it specifies that it is not an exclusivity agreement. It's very important to understand as a pro note that it's uncommon in many competitive metropolitan markets, such as New York City or Miami, where there's a lot of agents chasing deals, to not have exclusivity on the buy side. So similarly, our agreement is not an exclusivity agreement either. So there you have it. That is what a buyer agent commission rebate is. It often is called by a variety of different names, such as a buyer agent rebate, a buyer closing credit, buyer rebate, commission rebate. Sometimes, realtors who are unfamiliar with the term or believe that it shouldn't be allowed or isn't allowed for some reason, they might call it a kickback, which is kind of a derogatory term. But regardless, that these are all different terms for the same thing. If you are based in New York and Florida, where we currently operate, it is legal in about 40 states. And that's pretty much it. Let us know if you have any questions. It is a very effective way to not only reduce your closing costs, but to perhaps give you a leg up when it comes time to bid for your dream property. If you have more money coming to you as post-closing equity, or perhaps as a way to reduce your closing costs, it gives you more firepower when you're bidding against other folks in a competitive market. So we think it can only help. If you have any questions, please drop us a line. You can leave a comment below. We'll get back to you. We do operate in New York and Florida. So in New York, we cover Long Island, Hudson Valley, and New York City, where we originally started. And in South Florida, we cover all 5 counties of Southeast Florida. So that's Miami-Dade County, Palm Beach County, Broward County, St. Lucie, and Martin counties. We can help you save up to 6% when you sell with our agent-assisted FSBO service, or about half the total broker commission when you sell with our 1% full service program. And when you buy, of course, the buyer closing credit program, we mentioned we can help you save 2% or more. Oftentimes, it's a lot more than 2% here in Florida, especially if you're buying new construction. For example, the Missoni Baya, a new construction building in Edgewater, Miami, is offering 7%. And it's not uncommon to see new construction projects here in Miami offering 5, 6, 7%. So it can certainly be more than just the 3% being offered to buyer's agents. And of course, if you get 2/3 of that back, the upside can be quite substantial. So we hope you found this video helpful. My name is Chris at Houseit, and we'll see you on the next one.